Hey, welcome to Fireside Gaming. This is Billum, and I was originally going to put up a Mega Man X5 review this week, but then I had a friend approach me about buying his game collection. And basically what it came down to is he's getting ready to move, and he initially proposed just giving it to me, which, generous of him, I didn't feel right. And he was like, well, you can buy it from me instead. And so I did, and that way, he had some extra money to help with the move. Because if you've ever moved, it can suck and it can be expensive. So he said, hey, go ahead and, buy my collection off of me. That's fine. And I was like, yeah, sure. So I bought his collection, and it, excuse the mess, is right here. And as you can see, there's a lot to it. It's a pretty good-sized box. And we're going to go through it and look at everything I bought from my friend. Okay, so let's get some of the uninteresting things out of the way first. You see that stack of games right there? Elder Scrolls Morrowind, Nintendo Land, Turok Evolution, Conquer Live and Reloaded, Grand Theft Auto, Liberty City, Prince of Persia Warrior Within, and Gauntlet 7 Sorrows. These are all empty cases that he had. And he asked, if I wanted them, he'd just throw them in. He didn't really want to keep them. And I was like, yeah, sure, I use empty cases sometimes. If you actually want to hear a really funny story, this Conquer Live and Reloaded, one of our other friends sold me this actual copy in high school, like the disc, back in high school, because he didn't realize it wasn't his, and he sold it to me, and then I turned around and after playing through the game, sold it to one of our local shops, which is actually why this doesn't have a disc, is partially my fault. And that happened years ago, back when the Xbox was actually like a more relevant, newer console. So that's the boring stuff, though. That's these games that, there's no games in these cases. Maybe I'll try to collect them. Okay, I'll collect some of them. Like Gauntlet 7 Sorrows is actually on the wife and mine's list to buy. So like if I can find a loose copy that goes with this, yeah, it has the manual. So yeah, if we can just find a loose copy of this, we'll definitely pick that up. Some of these other ones, not really like super interested in doing that. Like I might pick up Morrowind even though I have it on PC. But like we have Nintendo Land. Turok might not be bad. I don't really care much about Grand Theft Auto. And we already have Warrior Within. And Conquer Live and Reloaded maybe someday. I'm not like super raring to play it again, But that's the boring stuff, is the empty game cases. So let's just toss these to the side. And let's grab another stack of stuff. Alright. We have... Alright, so first off, this is funny. Me and this friend, his name's Nexilus, by the way. Like, okay, that's his online name. That's not his real name, but that's what I'm going to call him. I've actually mentioned him before in my Pokemon Yellow video. We've known each other for ages. We shared an apartment together in college with 2 or 3 of our other friends. We had some rotating people that moved in and out. This is my copy of Oblivion that I didn't know where it went after college. Yeah, evidently he had it or someone else had it and he got it from them. But either way, this is actually mine. Like, this is the one I picked up back in the day, and this is how I played Oblivion. I've rebought it through Steam since then because I didn't know where this went, but it's... Sorry, I didn't realize I was glaring. Can I adjust this light and maybe... No, that didn't look any better. You know what? Do I even need this light on? Let me ask that question first. It helps. Maybe. Maybe not. We can maybe see well enough. Yeah, Oblivion. That's actually mine. So, cool. I have that back. Moving on. Red Alert 3, there's not really a secondhand market for PC games. So, I took this. I've played Red Alert 3. I honestly prefer 2 more. But I have it now. It's cool. I think I can probably link this to Origin and add it to my account there. I've done that with my old Crysis copies. so maybe I can do that. Sonic Heroes. Okay, so this one's different. It is an empty case as well, but Nexilus actually left his copy of Sonic Heroes with me back in high school, and I have literally just been sitting on the disc for ages. I borrowed it from him to play. I didn't like it. He didn't like it, so he didn't care if he ever got it back, and this has just been sitting around in his stuff for 15 years now, or something like that, and it gets reunited with its copy now. Also, Wings of Valor for the Sega Genesis. I have no idea what this game is. I do know that it's an empty box, and that I'll be on the lookout for it, but yeah, as you can see, this collection is very pieced together. Some of it is complete, some of it is not. Let's grab something else. Here's another random thing. The instruction manual for Pool of Radiance, Ruins of Myth Draenor. I've never played this. I also, somewhere in this pile, know that there's an installation disc for this game, but I think it's only the second one and not the first one. So that might be something I look at. I don't know. Yet again, random things. This wasn't a look at my nice pristine collection. My friend wasn't a collector. He was I own games. I don't always take the best care of them, but I have them. That slid. In this unmarked case is, oh yes, we have Jade Empire, which I already own, so I showed that off in the Xbox video, I'm pretty sure. So I'll probably end up trading that one in. We have Battle Arena Toshinden for the PS1, a really fun fighting game if you've never done it. This would be my third copy of this. My first copy broke, my second copy I currently have, and now I have another copy, which means I will probably end up trading that one in too. And then we have Spider-Man 2 for the Xbox, which a lot of people like Spider-Man 2. I do not. I don't find it fun at all. I don't think it's a good game. We also already own a copy through the wife having the GameCube version, so we have no reason to hold on to this. I think I actually just hit the trade-in pile, because we had sorted through some of this stuff last night and looked it over, me and the wife did. And I think this was all stuff that we had talked about trading in. Let's see. Oh yeah, Hunted the Demon Forge for 360. We have a PS3 copy. This is a fun game. It's basically Resident Evil 5, but fantasy. It's not quite as good. Made by Bethesda back in the day. It's definitely worth playing through if you've got a friend. It's something I'd consider checking out. But we already have a copy. We also already have a copy of Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, so we have no reason to hang on to this. Also, look at that $15 price tag. If you could imagine picking Paper Mario up for that much now. This isn't complete. It's got the disc, it's got the case, it's even got the little health and safety stuff, but it does not have the manual. Yet again, this is probably going to go to trade, because we already have a copy, and there's no reason to hold on to multiple copies, really. Okay, so we've also got, Monster Hunter 3 Try. This was like the first Monster Hunter game that really pulled me in. I tried the original, I didn't care for it. It was mostly the analog controls. Played this one, loved it, went back and got Freedom Unite, spent a lot of time in college playing that with friends, but I own a copy of this. This is complete. I think this game only goes for like $5 though, so we'll still probably trade it in. Also, lo and behold, speak of the devil, Mega Man X5, I still have my copy of this, so yet again, I don't need to hold on to this one. So that one's probably also going to go to trade. I think that's actually I think all of that was just games for trade. But let's dig into this a bit more, because he actually has some cool things to show off that I want to show off. For example, I will get back to that one later, because I want to show it all off at once, and I can't find the rest of it, because this is a big old box of stuff, so let's just jump into something else. Let's grab a stack of games. I'm gonna kind of just lightning speed this, look at that damaged game case. It's hard to slide. Alright. Resident Evil 5 Gold Edition for 360, which means that since the download code has been used, and it's not even in the case. This is just a base copy of Resident Evil 5 because they didn't include all of the bonus content on disc. It was on a code. If you get the PS3 version, it does have it all on disc, though. Lost Planet 2. I have Lost Planet 1. I've never played Lost Planet 2. I've watched my friend play through it. It seems like it might be better than 1, but I'll have to find out. Oblivion, again, except the 360 version. This one is complete. It's got disc 1, disc 2, it's still got the map and everything in it. Looks like we have a broken tab on the bottom, but that's not really a big deal. The Metal Gear Solid HD collection, yet again, complete. Both disc, right there. Manual's following. Come on, close. Why aren't you closing? Oh, I see. This case has seen better days. Whatever, that's what I have spare cases for. Though, that's a dual disc. Whatever. Aliens vs. Predator. We've got the game. We've got no manual. That's fine. We've still got an old GameStop sticker on there. We've got Far Cry 2, the one where you have malaria and it sucks because you keep having to find pills. It is complete. And then we have Fear, complete. Fear 2, maybe that's complete? I don't know. I don't know about the manuals. And I say that because Fear 3 has its manual, but like, that's it. That's all that's in here. I don't, and like, yeah. I don't even see, like, it doesn't even look like it's missing staples or anything, like the manual was pulled out of the middle and this is just the cover. No, it's just, I think that's Fear 3's manual. So maybe Fear 2 doesn't even have a manual. I don't know. That's some 360 games. Missed a couple of 360 games. We've got Resident Evil 6. Complete. Like I said, I'm not going to spend too long going through all of this. You guys probably don't want to see every little detail of these games or my thoughts on them yet. Some of them I haven't even played. Actually, a lot of them I haven't even played. Let's keep the Xbox train going. Here is a stack of Xbox games. Ultimate Spider-Man. This might actually belong to one of our friends. My buddy said that he doesn't know how this came into his possession. It just showed up in his collection after we all moved out of the apartment together. And I remember one of our buddies that we lived with had a copy of this, so I'm actually going to hit him up and see if this is his. We have Breakdown, a game I have watched Nexulis play through many times, but have never actually played myself. It's always seemed fun, and I'm glad to have it. I was already going to pick it up anyways. We have this poor Armageddon case that has seriously suffered some kind of probably water damage, and Mortal Kombat Armageddon is in there. Unreal Tournament, or Unreal Championship 2, the Leandri conflict. Played this one a lot with him back in the day. It's fun. It kills me to think about, like, you know, Epic Games, the Fortnite guys. Like, this is what they used to do, was Unreal Tournament and Unreal Championship and stuff like that, and now they make Fortnite. It's just weird to think of that. Another Mortal Kombat. This one's Shaolin Monks. If I remember right, it is just the disc. Half-Life 2 for the 360. Busted case. Just the disc. Mech Assault, which was actually on my list of Xbox games to buy. Did I say 360 on Half-Life 2? It's the Xbox, whatever, you know. Yet again, just the disc. You're noticing a trend here. Far Cry Instincts Evolution. This is another one of those games that we had a lot of fun playing back in the day. There's a map maker. You can do all sorts of custom maps and everything. You could play as a Predator, which was basically like had enhanced abilities, and the other players were on a team and they had to try to kill you and you had to try to kill them. We did that a lot. This one is complete. Knights of the Old Republic. Yet again, this was on my list to buy after I bought an Xbox. That's an old receipt. And that's the game. No manual. It's fine. Sudeki, also on the list to buy. The wife specifically was interested in this. I have it on PC already. I've played it before. I've never beaten it. It's a fun enough game. Jeez, that one was stuck together. It is complete. Another game off the list that we were already talking about buying. And hey, we've got Tony Hawk's Underground 2. I've been buying the Tony Hawk games. I've been meaning to play more of them on the channel. I picked up the original 2 recently to do a review of, and I just haven't got to it yet. So I'm getting more into these games because I jumped around in the series. I've never played 2. I played 1... Let me think. 1, 3... Underground... American Wasteland, maybe? But it's here, it's complete, it's on Xbox. That's the Xbox games. Let's move that over. Gosh, that's a stack. Alright, what are we going to pick up next? Oh, let's grab this, because I actually know that there's not just one game in here. There are 3. There goes 1 and 2 of them. Oh, there's that Pool of Radiance disc I talked about, where it's the second disc and there's no first disc. We also have Dark Omen Warhammer for the PlayStation, and Mission Impossible for the PlayStation. I've never played either of those. PS1 games not being complete is pretty normal. Jewel cases kind of suck. It's hard to find them not broke. Let me grab a handful of NES games to look at next. Alright, first off we have a Tengen game. These were basically made without Nintendo's permission. I think there was a lawsuit about it back in the day. This one is Alien Syndrome. I don't see Tengen games very often, every once in a while, but they're always kind of neat to see. Okay, so sorry about that jump cut there. Something came up and I had to step away for a little bit, which does mean I had to turn the light back on as I'm losing ambient light in the room. But let's get back to this. I was talking about Nintendo games. Original Nintendo games, Nintendo Entertainment System, NES, whatever you want to call it. I mentioned the Tengen, the Alien Syndrome. I think I got the footage of that before I had to cut. It looks like I did. But that's our first one. I also grabbed this extra one out of the box in the cut. I forgot to grab it. It's Super Mario Bros. 3. I have a copy of this already. This one might end up in trade. Same goes for this one. Yet again, I have a copy. Might end up in trade. Do not have a copy of Mega Man 6, which is one of the original Mega Man series games that I like quite a bit. 3 is my favorite, and I have that already. I've had it since I was a kid. But, yeah. So that's that. Metal Gear, which... I've played, the original NES version a little bit, but, I know the MX version because that was on the collection when I picked it up on PS3. It's also, it's part of the Metal Gear Solid 3 thing, the Substance, I can't remember which one it is. And then Ninja Gaiden, with someone's name on it, not my friend's name, but, have that. Yet again, I've only played this via the Super Nintendo collection. Never actually had an original cartridge of Ninja Gaiden. That's cool. Oh, sorry. Bumped a camera there. Try not to... Don't want this to not be level. And we still have plenty of games to go. For example, let's start with Batman Returns for the Sega Genesis. I'm having trouble focusing there. Maybe if I adjust this light a little bit, pull it over a little closer. I just don't want it to blur out everything like it has a habit of doing. Okay. Mortal Kombat for the Sega Genesis, except it's not. It's actually Mortal Kombat 2 for the Sega Genesis. As I said, my friend wasn't a collector, he just had a collection of games, so keeping things in cases, blah blah blah, and plus, you gotta remember, he's had a lot of this stuff since he's a kid, so cases get moved around and stuff like that. This is Super High Glide, which is actually, in its case, Sega Genesis cases are nice, because they're actually plastic. I've got a couple of Super Nintendo cases, but since they're cardboard, they were harder to keep, so the fact that these Sega Genesis ones are actually nice, retail feeling packages is cool. A mystery. Is this what I think it is? It is Tony Hawk's Underground 2 for the GameCube in a blank case with a manual for NASCAR Dirt to Daytona. You remember we already actually opened a copy of Tony Hawk's Underground 2 for the Xbox, but that's a second copy. I will keep one of them, probably the Xbox version, just because it's already complete, but I'll look up and see if there's any version differences. I don't know. For the GameCube, we have Medal of Honor Frontline, and I do believe this is complete. This looks like it's seen better days. I haven't actually checked these. Oh, that is pretty rough. I don't know. I might be able to clean it up. Resurface shop. Like a resurface shop might be able to do something. Resurface shop. A game shop. A lot of them have those resurfacers. We've got Sonic Mega Collection Plus. Except it's Sonic Mega Collection for the GameCube, which I already have an empty case for, funnily enough, so I'm going to put this in there, and then I actually own Sonic Mega Collection Plus on the PS2 already, which means I'm now left with an Xbox version, and I don't really like owning multiple copies of games. It's not really my thing to have it on different consoles. But at this point, I'm kind of wondering if I shouldn't just buy a copy of Sonic Mega Collection for the Xbox and then have it on all three consoles, just almost out of goofiness, because this is how things have happened. Next up is Animal Crossing for the GameCube. Yet again, old $14 price sticker. Kind of crazy when you think about current prices for this kind of stuff. No manual, but the game is right there. We also have Need for Speed Underground, and it is complete. Everything's there. Same goes for this copy of Resident Evil, The Umbrella Chronicles for the Wii. It is there, the disc is there, manual is there, and everything, which this actually works out because we don't have the manual for our copy of this. So we'll end up probably trading whichever one of these is nicer. We'll hang on to, and then we'll trade the other one. And we have The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. I never played this one. I pre-ordered it. I bought it when it came out and everything like that. The wife played it, and I watched her play it, and I had no desire to play it, and she had no desire to keep it. So we traded our copy in roughly a month after the game came out. I talked about buying it again. Me and the wife had, because when I do get around to eventually reviewing and playing the Legend of Zelda series for this channel, obviously I will want to do Skyward Sword, and the fact that I got this from my friend as part of this set just kind of works out. This is complete. It does have the manual. It's got the Symphony CD as well as the game, so that actually works out pretty well. Alright, let me move all of this. This map might not have been the best idea because it's a little grippier than I expected it to be. Alright, I think that's all the cased games we have left, so we're going to get into cartridges now. First off is a GameShark Pro for the Game Boy Color and Game Boy Pocket. A memory card for the N64. Game & Watch Gallery 3 for the Game Boy, which I've never played any of these. I didn't know they were a thing, so it's neat. I'll have to check that out and see what it's all about. I suppose I can just plug it in to the Game Shark. Choplifter 3. I've never heard of or played this game before my friend Jakun? I don't know. King of the Monsters, which is a fun one. I need to make sure I'm in the middle. Sorry. I'm being bad about that. It's this different setup. Looks like an old rental. Not too surprising. We had a local video shop in my small town, and I know some of these games are from there. And then we have Populous. Yet again, another game that I'd never heard of before until it showed up from my friend. So there's that. Out of the way. Alright, next stack up. We have Hardball for the Sega Genesis. Yet again, not one I played. I didn't have a Genesis as a kid. So, yeah. WCW versus NWO Revenge? I don't actually know. It's scratched out there, the label's busted up, and I'm not actually enough of a wrestling fan, which is to say I literally know nothing at all except for like the old wrestling memes that every kid in the 90s knew. So, I don't know. That might be its name. I think it's NWO, but I'm not sure. We have Quest 64, one of the only RPGs on the N64, which I remember playing. This looks to be a video store rental, which means this might be the exact version I played, since me and my friend both come from the same hometown. This is a big one that I'm very happy to have. Gold cartridge, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. This is how I first played the game as a kid, was on the gold cartridge, because my one friend had it, different friend than we're talking about now, and then I got it later in the gray cartridge, and then I don't remember what happened to the gray cartridge, but I don't have it anymore, so yeah, getting this from him, super cool. Super Mario 64, as just about anybody who owns an N64 has this. I have a copy of this. This will probably end up as a trade or something along those lines. Turok Rage Wars, black cart version. There's evidently a gray cart version that I've never seen before and is like stupid expensive, like $700 or something like that. But I borrowed this game from him back in the day, and I played it a lot. I remember running around as raptors and stuff. Looks to be from that same video store I was talking about from back in the day. It's gone now. It used to be this cool place that had a pizzeria in the back. So, you know, you could get your pizza and rent games and stuff like that and everything and have a fun little weekend. And that's all of those. And I do believe that is the last of the games, but that does not mean that is the last of the stuff I got from him. I think I see what I was looking for earlier. I might. Anyway. I do. I see it. Alright, I want to show this off because this is really cool. Alright. Obviously it's dirty. It's been sitting in a basement for years. So you see this, you might not know what it is. And I didn't know what this was for the longest time. I'm going to show you these. And immediately some of you are like, wait a second, those are Nintendo controller plugs. So what is this thing? Right? It's a RF or infrared receiver or whatever. And it worked with these wireless controllers from Acclaim. Yeah, evidently they used to make hardware. I didn't know that. But my buddy talked about having wireless Nintendo controllers as a kid, and I was like, you're full of crap. And he's like, no, and everything. And I remember he dug this set out in high school and was like, here, and showed it to me. And sure enough, wireless controllers for the Nintendo Entertainment System, which is pretty cool. And you've got your basics, you've got, you know, up and down and everything. The buttons feel a bit mushy. Probably not the best play experience. You've obviously got a switch to go back and forth between player 1 and 2. There's also, you know, off, slow-mo button that you could click, which is pretty neat. These are turbo buttons, so they click in and now you're turboing is that the B button? Yeah. You're turboing the B button if you have that one clicked in, and you're turboing, it was already clicked in, I think, yeah. The A button if you've got that one clicked in. So yeah, a third-party controller for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and it also happens to be a wireless controller. I thought this was super cool. This is one of the more unique items he had, and he's the only person I've ever seen with this, and I've never even seen one of these at like a retro shop. I've been to multiple retro shops in my travels, and I've never seen anything like this, so I thought it was super cool, and I wanted to show it off and share it with you guys. Okay, hold on a second, because I'm gonna go diving again. Here it is. This is another thing I wanted to get from him. Not that I haven't seen these around at retro stores before, but I've just had never taken the dive to buy one. But, it's a multi-tap for the PlayStation 2. Basically lets you play with, 4 people. It takes up a memory card slot and a controller slot, and then it gives you access to 4 players total, as well as 4 memory cards if you are crazy and have that many memory cards. I don't even know, I don't even think most games could actually access 4 memory cards, could they? I don't know. Either way, this is one I remember because there were a couple games that me, Nexilus, and a couple other of our friends played back in high school, like Gauntlet, I'm pretty sure it was one of them on the PS2, and I can't remember what the other one was, but maybe it means this one only has memory card support? I don't know, that seems weird. Either way. Yeah, and I've been wanting to grab one of these. They're a cool little thing. There's not a whole lot of games that use them. I think Time Splitters is one because it already had support for 4-player built in via the Xbox and GameCube version since they had that many controller ports. So not a whole lot of games use these, but they're cool, and I wanted to get a hold of one and potentially relive old memories with friends one of these days. Okay, now we're getting to bigger items, and I mean physically bigger and just kind of big. A Nintendo Entertainment System. He had one. This has been sitting in his basement / traveling with him as he's moved around and stuff like that ever since he was a kid. Controller ports 1 and 2. It does come with the 2 NES controllers, they're there. They still feel surprisingly clicky and nice all these years later. The other ones in there, I don't personally want to dig it out. There's a bunch of cords because all of the hookups and everything like that are down in there. But yeah, I haven't actually wow, that's surprising. I haven't actually checked any of this to make sure it works, but I'm already noticing something, and that's that the spring mechanism in this one works, and that is interesting because that's something that fails on these a lot. It failed on the one I had as a kid, so what we would end up doing is we would take a game and put it in, and then we would push it down all the way, and then on this top slot where this metal bar is here, we'd push a second game in on top of it to hold it down so that we could play games. Yeah, that was our make do solution we had to do as a kid. So there were always 2 Nintendo games, 2 NES games in our Nintendo at any point in time. So that's just kind of random and interesting. I don't know if anybody else had things like that they had to do, but this one actually still has a working spring mechanic, which I'm surprised by. It's one of the reasons a lot of people get the top loader NESs for collector's purposes, because you don't have to worry about that breaking, But a Nintendo Entertainment System is also part of the collection this time, part of what I grabbed, so that's cool. Another thing I got from him is Sega Genesis. This is the Model 2 version. I can't go as in detail on this one. It's obviously dirty. I'll clean this stuff up. That's not a problem. I just wanted to show you guys. I wasn't going to go in and clean it all up and everything first. But I'll definitely be cleaning all this stuff up, making it look all schnazzy. I never had a Sega Genesis as a kid. I had one of those At Games ones that I got a few years ago, and I know those kind of suck, for Sega purists, but for me that was a great way to play a lot of games I missed out on. But with this, I now own a Sega Genesis, and yet again, I haven't checked to see if any of these consoles work. They worked, last he used them, and usually that means that they'll work again if you just plug them in and everything like that. Typically, that's been my experience. So, I have a Sega Genesis now. That's cool. I'm gonna have to get some kind of hookup, that a switcher for AV cables, because I've got a lot more retro consoles. I've got an old CRTV, and I need to get a whole setup, hooked up so I can play on a CRTV. That'd be nice. Oh, and real quick, it did come with Sega Genesis controllers. 2 of them, just like with the Nintendo. There were 2 in that one too. I've always I don't know. Sega Genesis controllers have always felt kind of odd to me, and I know that's probably just me growing up with a Nintendo instead. The D-pad honestly doesn't feel bad, but... And I get that it was trying to mimic an arcade stick with the roll. I don't know. But it's the ABC buttons have always felt kind of odd to me. But there's 2 of these. Yet again, I'm not going to go crazy and dig it all out because there's all sorts of cords and cables in there, and I just do not want to deal with trying to, haul that stuff up on camera. So just know that there is another controller down there, and the hookups to plug it all into the TV, and get power, and all that jazz. Which brings us to the final thing I got from him. A PS1, one of the old fat gray ones, a little more yellowed now, but that is something that you can clean up pretty easily. Yet again, this was working last he used it. You see right there, that opened up, which, you know, that's already... This is one of those things that would, like, stick a lot, and you wouldn't be able to... Speak of the devil. Okay, well, wonderful. That's something that can be fixed easily enough. Come on, could you pop out for me, at least for the video? No? Well, look at me. I've already gone and broke it. It's not actually broke, like this is a really easy fix. There we go. Alright, I'm not going to touch that again. We've got our power button, we've got reset, everything, you know, last he knew it worked, so, you know, I'm just going to assume it works. I don't think he ever got to the point where he had to put it upside down to get it working. I used to have a PS1, like the little small ones, and it had the screen on the back. I don't know where that is. I remember the screen was broke. I got it from my sister, my eldest sister, I should say, and I remember playing stuff with it, but by that point in time, I'd already bought a PS2, so it wasn't like I needed it or that it was a main focus of mine to use for gaming. So it kind of just sat around, and I don't even know what happened to it. But yeah, PS1, I think this one has all the cables. I know it had its power cable. It does not have any controllers with it, which isn't a big deal. Controllers are pretty easy to find. I've got PS1 memory cards. That's not a problem. So yeah, that's... And I don't know if you can use PS2 controllers with a PS1. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if that's a backwards compatibility thing. Because I know you can do... Can't you do PS2 memory cards to store PS1 data, but like it's for transfer purposes? I don't know. I'll have to look into it. Either way, I got this as well. And yet again, there are a lot of cables down in there. Some that are just, you know, not really... It's not worth digging through all of it and everything like that. I guess I could show off this one cable, which might be a little more interesting to people, I guess. Is this his link? Is this a link cable? I think. Pretty sure. Looks like it. A Game Boy Advance link cable. I'm pretty sure that's what this is. Yeah, because it's got the plugs there. I actually think this is the same one me and him used back in the day to play Pokemon against each other. If you go watch my Pokemon Yellow review, I'll link it in the corner if I haven't already. I'll do it again, sure. In high school, me and him picked up SPs. I had a red one with Pokemon Red, and he had a blue one with Pokemon Blue, and we named our rivals after each other, and we played through the Pokemon games in our lunch breaks, during lunch break, you know, free periods, study halls, stuff like that. And we played through the Pokemon games, we trained up our teams, and during our breaks we would play against each other. We'd link up and we'd fight each other and stuff like that, and everything just as like a fun little thing that we did, and before Pokemon games got so absurdly overpriced. It was just kind of something fun. We picked them up at one of our local retro stores, and we kind of just went to town and had fun with it, you know. Geez, how old were the games then? I don't know off the top of my head, but either way, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is exactly that link cable that we used. I could be wrong, but yeah, that's just a fun little bit of history, talking about the, like, you know, stuff like that. And it relates to another video I did on the channel where I actually bring that exact story up, but you should check out that review. I put a little extra effort into that one. But there's other random odds and ends in there. I think there's a 3DS charger, some Xbox 360 cable, stuff that's not really... It's not really worth going through. It's just a bunch of extra stuff that goes to the consoles that are there, or is just extra bits that he had, and I was just like, yeah, sure, toss it in the box, whatever. That's this video. Thank you for stopping by. I hope to have that Mega Man X5 review go up next week, is what I'm aiming for. I was already really close to having it done, but with his move, there's a little bit of a going away party and some other stuff like that, and I was like, you know, it's whatever. I can push it off and hang out with friends, and it's summer, so I've been going out with my wife and kid more and stuff like that. Doesn't mean reviews are going anywhere, but just for this week, I kind of pushed it back a little bit. But I hope to see you next week, and as always, take it easy.